good moment. Okay, first item, we did the roll call, we have the reading of the minutes. If you lift up your agenda, you will find your meeting minutes attached.
The one thing I have a question about
Yes,
is
sir.
it says Vice President Mr. Joe Miller stated his opinion on current coverages in place, and there's nothing about the opinion of the coverage, or if there should be. Sorry.
Usually the meetings are not verbatim what is said. Basically what was on film and what Mr. Miller had said is that he wanted clarification on the coverages, and then other conversation took over in the middle.
Okay, but that was kind of an important.
What would you like to add to it?
What this clarification of the coverage is what?
I believe
I know what he is.
I believe Frank had asked about crime policy, etc. And
But that was like December's meeting, we had asked for that, we never got it. And then January's meeting, that's why he brought it up in January's meeting, because we never,
January 16th, these minutes are from that video, sir.
right. That's why he brought it up again, because we never got it from after the December meeting.
What do you
Right,
want?
and then we
What do you
had
want? The
emails.
specifications of what was stated as far as?
Well, it's a little complicated, but Frank had called me to place a binder for our new liability and our general coverage for our
Right.
insurance. You know? And he said, we're going to do it for half the amount, that instead of $1 million, $500,000 for our coverage. And I said, go ahead and bind it and let us see the policy, the board, you know, so we can see what it says. If we maybe want to raise it back to $1 million, we don't know. We hadn't seen anything, and they had like a deadline. And then it was coming up in February, which we didn't have a meeting for, which that was why he said it again in January, to show us what the officers and directors policy was going to be, because we didn't particularly agree on that crime thing, but if it was a very little bit of money, who cared?
With respect to the time of the meeting, when we had the meeting, we did not have the coverages in place from the insurance company. You were going to call, you were going to get the quotes. We had a policy that was going to end.
Right, and we all agreed that we could bind coverage with the new agent.
Right?
The old policies were deficient in several areas. What I can do is get a copy of the policies.
Well, basically, every conversation,
Shouldn't your office have, shouldn't your office have a copy of that?
I believe Frank sent an email to everybody. Was that not the coverage that was
Wasn't
sent?
involved.
I can just check to see if,
Frank should not have the policies,
No, he wouldn't have it. He said he was going to check with the agent.
right, and
Yes.
Okay, so.
But what it was discussed at the meeting was before you all had signed. That's why this conversation in January is what you had discussed at that meeting, not what had happened afterwards.
All right,
Just
Yes,
for
sir.
a point of order though, as far as what goes in the minutes,
Yes,
on
sir.
motions and point of orders, nothing else. You don't hold conversations in minutes.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's the law.
cool.
So let's keep it simple.
Thank you.
But give me a copy of the agenda, because you took my agenda.
It's on the second package, sir, with the binder clip. It should be right on top.
No,
Unless you did take it.
No.
Okay, you can have this one.
You grabbed it.
Sure.
There you go. See, it had my little notes there too.
Did you all want to take a moment and read your minutes and see if you're going to approve
Read the
them,
minutes.
or how would you like to do that?
Anything else on the minutes that you want to correct?
That is it for me, I'll approve.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to approve the minutes.
So Mr. Wolf makes a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of January 16th. Mr. Carlos Verde seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, motion carries.
We go to the financial.
Did you all read the financial? Treasurer Frank, did you want to, when you lift up the front
I
page?
still have to review it.
Okay. You may be able to go over what is attached to the package, sir.
Look at the financials and,
You did receive an email.
not what I guess, we got financials from your office, you want to do the financials? Since Frank's not
The
prepared?
first four pages, Frank is prepared, the first 4 pages.
Well,
are
then let him do
attached.
the financials.
If he
No,
just
I didn't say I
wanted.
was prepared. I did not review the financials yet.
Oh,
They were just-
okay.
they
The
didn't
4
read
pages
those.
that you have here of your financials give you your balances.
All right, I'm gonna take it from here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, in the operating account, we have 233,947. In our reserve account, we have 105,634, which is a shortfall of the liability. The liability is 149,742. We have a shortfall of 44,275. We have a due to, due from, which means the operator owes the reserve account 44,000 and change. Once we close out Valley Bank, which is your old money, your old operating, and Executive National Bank, that'll reduce the amount owed. We're going to transfer that into the reserve account. And let's see, our expenses on a monthly basis come to about what? Let's see, 50,000 a month. Yeah. So subtracting that from 233,000 minus about 23,000, which we close to the reserve, that brings us to 213,000 minus the prepaid of 26,000 and another 25,000, so another 50,000. So we have about $180,000 cash flow. So we're in good financial standings as far as the financials go. But we are going to need a motion to go ahead and, closing out, putting the operating account that's in the Valley Bank and Executive National Bank and making up the difference and putting it to reserve. You got all that? I need a motion.
Well, I've already signed the paperwork for Valley Bank, so I'll make a
We're just
motion.
going to now go into the reserve to make up the deficit.
I'll make a motion that we transfer, I don't know if we can, so let me just ask Diane a minute. Did they already send a letter that they're gonna put the money in our general account from executive or not?
There is only one account at executive,
Yes, I know.
and that's the account you're closing out. So
Well,
they're
we're-
going to send you the check. There's only one account.
So we can put it anywhere we want.
That's for the 1,000.
Okay, so I can make it close now.
Mr. Wolf has the floor, he's making a motion to
Both of these
close out the executive
close
national
out,
bank,
going into the reserve.
and then for the balance check to be deposited into the
Okay,
reserve account.
I
Do we have a
make-
second?
I make a motion that, no, the money from Executive National Bank, no, it's not executive, it is executive.
Yeah.
National
Yes,
Bank.
sir.
But it's more than 1,600, it's 16,000.
No, this is
Oh,
the
that's
reserve.
1,600. 1,600 is a small amount.
Okay. That money we'll deposit it into our reserve account.
Plus the Valley National for
And
19,000.
the Valley National, we have
Valley,
$92,000 in.
19.
19,505.
You want my glasses?
On the operating, it says the reserve has 92.
No, that is in reserve already.
Right,
That's-
moving the
that's
19 into the
No,
reserve.
this is the operating, the old operating account. Look at the account
Okay.
number 1030.
All right, so I make a motion, we take the 1673 and the 19505 and deposit it into our reserve account.
Correct.
I'll second it.
But the 92,000 that's in.
That saves it. That's
Huh?
fine. That's fine. That's
So we're
fine.
gonna keep it in Valley?
Whatever Dawn tells me she wants to move, but remember, we can only have so much money, $250,000 in the FDIC limit, so it should stay there, okay?
By bank.
All right.
These are two different.
So plus what, add to the motion that you want to fund the reserve, fully fund the reserve by taking the balance from the BB&T operating and putting it into the reserve account as well to balance out the liabilities, which is $149,000.
Not yet.
That's only another 20 grand. You have to. It balances out the liabilities. Your liabilities are for hurricane, pool, and paving the streets. Those liabilities come to
And for the,
$149,000.
for the pool,
Right, and yeah, and cool, it says hurricane, pool area, and paving/streets. Those are your three liabilities. which in reality, you should, that figure of 149,000 should be in your bank account for reserve. It's not. So we have to, that's why we're making those operating accounts, closing those out and putting them into reserve. But we're still gonna be short about 20. So now we're gonna take a little more, a little more than 20? I didn't get it. So now we're from 233, we're gonna take an additional to fund the reserves, and it balances out. It balances out your sheet.
Okay, so I'll make my motion again. We'll take the 1673 from Executive National Bank and the 19,505 note from Valley, and the difference to make up what we owe in reserves from our operating account to make our reserves what they're supposed to be, so we'll have the $44,000 that we owe in our reserve account.
I second that.
Can I? Okay, we have a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It takes period of financial.
How much should our reserves be?
Then it will be 149, right?
149,
149?
150.
That's 149, but you're funded.
And there are other areas of spending where we want to have reserves for.
Well, at this time, this is what we got. But at this time, this is what we have, so we have to go with that.
We always have accrued now.
Anybody else know?
You can always add an additional line item, but you can look at that next year.
We can throw it.
All right, delinquency report.
The delinquency report is attached.
Okay, everybody turn to the delinquency report. It is dated March 18th. I think that's the date, right?
It's golden.
Today's the 20th.
You'll see it in red writing marks. From here, page 9, page 1 is where it starts to 14. Page 1 to 14, it should have red writing on it, and right after your 4 pages, your financial report that are included. You'll see page 1 through 14, which is your delinquency report.
Everybody got the delinquency report?
Yes.
Looks like this? Okay, let me quickly go over it. Very simply put, okay, we have 29 people in some form of collection, okay?
How many?
29, 385.
85.
385 homes. We have 7 in foreclosure. 5 received a certified letter, meaning they're one step before foreclosure. You have 3 that have been liened, okay? You have 3 that are in bank foreclosure, 1 which is a sale date of April 29th, okay? That means it's going up for auction and the bank is going to take title or it gets postponed for some other reason, okay? 1, the attorney sent a demand letter. 9 on pay plan. Not legal pay plans on all of them, but the homeowner has been sending in money here and there. You notice that there's some remarks on your delinquency on the right-hand side from my office. That gives you the pretty much status of the update.
Remember them all?
Okay? So 29 out of 485, I won't say it's terrible or what. It's not bad. Everyone is being attended to. Okay? So stating that, we move to the next one.
Your management report is attached after that. It's a management summary. We'll give you a brief overview. After page 14. After page 14.
I'm sorry, where are you? 14?
Your delinquency report will end on page 14, and then the next page will start the double-sided management summary. There you go, sir.
Diana, this is all 381 homes?
385.
The delinquency report?
385?
Yes, 385. Yes, sir. On page 1, you'll find projects that have been completed. We go down the list. It's double-sided copies. on the next page. Or you can take your time, of course.
I don't understand some of these things that are in here. Online screening sale and lease applications completed.
The implementation, rather than doing the paper applications, it is now an online process. So you would click on the website, you would click online application, it'll give you the tenant evaluation, this is a background screening company, a 4-digit PIN is included.
The whole screening process is automated.
So everyone, the same way you would a college application, you complete it at your own pace. Once you've completed all the fields, you will receive a message saying completed, submitted, and then the approval in the background begins on that applicant.
Oh, I understand that, I understand what it is.
Do you mind if I said that for the rest of the
I just
owners
don't know why
present?
it's in here, but okay.
This
Well-
is to give you information and in writing. That's all.
Because you did not have online applications before, you were paper, where you actually had a physical application, and now it's online. So that was a completed project. When we started in November, you still had paper applications.
Everybody done with their review? You can always take.
Item 24, did we get that permit? I know I signed all the documents, the permit for the fence.
Yes, I've been speaking
Cool.
with, the application has been in, it has been renewed, he's gonna be calling for an inspection, and then once he calls for the inspection, of course, we expect it to fail, because it failed before, and he's gonna give me the feedback on what the comments are from the county or city, whatever it is, in this
For those of you
area.
present,
And once I have that information, I'll know what the next
And
step
that was
would
the
be.
permit that was
Hopefully, it's a
opened
simple
in
thing, as
2016.
getting an engineer to
That's what the
certify
board is
the
discussing
fences.
now.
Do we know why they failed it?
I do know why they.
There was
There
no specifications.
there were no bench drawings.
Yeah,
The city wanted bench drawings.
yeah, they wanted that in the city of Tamarack too, but I didn't hear it.
And our contractor, didn't have bench drawings. And we don't know who did the fence. My recommendation way back when, this was a couple of years ago, was to remove the fence, have them come in, just inspect the walkway without the fence, have a fence company maybe during the whole process come in, and tell us what they're gonna charge us to do shop drawings, and then put the fence back after they did the shop drawings. Because the city is like being really picky about it, and we don't know how to get them.
Well, right now, we've started the initial.
Well, let's hope.
Let me go my route for now.
Yeah, let's do your route.
I had to do another one about when Irma hit, it was before it was Roma, and I had to go back to the city of Tamarack, and I got it past the fences without having the specs and drawing and all that. So I just got an engineer to back me up. So, I got that one. That's that of,
How many vehicle tags have we given out so far? Here's only a few.
No, there's a total at the bottom.
Mending update?
565?
Yes.
Good.
Right up here at the top, 565 tags have been distributed within the community.
And they're pending processing in the computer, or it says pending update?
Updating due to time constraint, because we also have the monitoring contract with Total Access, et cetera. You asked how many tags have been issued. It is not per homeowner that was issued. Well, for the individuals that are present at the meeting, they may not understand what we're speaking about. So out of respect, the vehicle tags for the automated entrance system and the packages going on, rather than the decals on your car, there's also a hieroglyphic sticker that either goes on your headlamp or on your windshield, depending the technology that's in your car. If you have a metal antenna, you need to place the hieroglyphic decal on your headlamp. If you have any technology in your windshield that has the bar scan codes, or if it's too close to metal, it won't work on the windshield. So when you place this decal on your headlamp, it needs not to be touching any metal. And what will happen is when you side, it will automatically raise the gate arm for you, rather than having to stop and speak to someone, wait for someone to wave to you, or however you all have been entering the property. It does not work on the west side as of right now, and I know your board and the communities are in discussions, but there is no information to give you at that time on what west is doing. I don't have it, so I will wait to hear from your board. So if anyone does not have a tag application, and you have my email, I can send it to you email, or I can make arrangements to get you the package information, or you certainly receive one per home at no charge. Any other eligible members that you have in your household, you are able to receive tax for them at a cost of $10 each. And it's made payable by check or money order to Marbella Park HOA. We do not accept cash in the office, and we are unable to process via debit or credit cards. So that's what we have currently at the moment.
John,
Yes, sir.
just one quick thing. On this 365 issue.
I'm sorry, I
With
didn't-
365, as an
The
issue.
565 that are due?
Yes, sorry, 565.
Yes, sir.
That's total.
Total
What
tax.
percent, yeah, total tax. What percentage of the homeowners you're talking about in this 556?
Less than 1/3.
Less than a third.
Yes, sir.
I've gone out to inform the homeowners that this should come in and get it done. Or no, we did that. About 2 months ago?
We did distribute flyers, we
Yeah,
did
okay.
door to door, we
Good.
have posted in all bulletin boards.
What I'm suggesting is that it has taken 2 months so far. A very minute amount of residents has complied. We need to do something drastically. Give them a deadline that we're going to open this gate at a certain time. And if they're not purchasing the tickets and getting tickets by that time, then they're going to go through after that deadline, they go through the visitor side.
Yes, sir.
Well, I agree with that, except for we have a problem with the West. And we need to solve it. We sent a letter to them. If you look past this, our attorney sent a letter to the West, letting them know about the easements in our community.
I read it.
But I suggested this, and we've talked about it. At a certain point, we should just close the resident side just to residents who already have their stickers.
You're
So
absolutely correct.
it will
Would you
force
like
the
that?
people that don't have their stickers, to get their stickers, except for the fact that then we're going to be closing the
For West as
the
well.
west
Yes, sir.
side
Yes,
coming in our
That's
gate
not gonna work.
to, which is not going to work.
That's gonna create
Wait,
chaos at the
the
entrance.
565 is for the west and the east, right?
No,
That's
We have a,
This is just us?
only
Yeah.
for east, because again, of 385 homes,
Mhm.
we have one home, they needed 5. There's another home, they needed 4. I gave a brief example on a list on who all is mentioned and how many they were getting.
Mhm.
We have some individuals, they've only taken 1 tag. We had another individual, they have 3 kids, they have a mother living with them. Anyone whose driver's license matched their house, we gave them opportunity, because they were eligible to purchase for their home. The same thing with the lease. Any of the members that have filled out a lease application, whoever is mentioned on the lease and eligible occupants of the lease are all entitled to receive
Yeah, we don't,
a decal.
that's okay.
the easiest,
My whole problem with this is I've spoken to I don't know what she is,
West.
or
Okay.
I don't
She's not
know what-
president.
I don't know what there's a new president who was supposed to start last Friday. She said she'd have him call me, he hasn't. But we really need to solve something with them legally. I offered to send a notice at our expense to all of their homeowners if they would send us their actual mailing list, so we didn't have to pull it out of our gate computer, which might not be accurate, but their management company sent us a mailing list, so we could send them and say, you're invited to buy our decals. So then at that point, once we've notified them that they're allowed to buy all of our decals, then we can set a time and close our gate, whether they buy them or not. She's said, no, we're not doing that, and we're not going to send you a copy of that, and maybe the new president, you can talk to him about that.
Last I spoke to her, which was 3 days ago,
Uh-huh.
I explained to you that they're having a problem getting a permit to put the gate system because they don't have an address, a physical address on their guardhouse like we do. So the county will not give them a permit to do this. So because of that, they are not able to move forward until they get that done. I gave them the access code that we have registered in the county for our guardhouse, so it'll make it easier for them to get an address, a physical address from the county. Until they get that done, they can't move forward. So until that happens, we can't make drastic changes here because we'll have chaos at the entrance.
Excuse me though, that's what if we offer them our decals somehow in writing,
Yeah, but why are we giving our decals?
not free,
Well,
it's not
no, but I'm saying,
Yeah.
even to that, how are we gonna keep track of who's really the owner there?
they have to
I
fill
mean,
out a
no,
form just like we do.
Right, but every new purchase, we have to then keep track of their business. That puts a burden on my firm and Diane to keep track of every sale that they have, or lease that they have. That's a huge burden on management,
You're right,
okay?
it is a lot of work.
So,
How do we resolve it?
Your gate entrance legal letter from the attorney, I would hope that there's a time frame pending for the response on that. and go right there.
3 days?
She told me that she was
I
gonna...
personally, I know it's going to cause a little chaos, but I personally would, activate our gate
Yep.
and get it done.
How-
And you're going to, you know what?
I think we'll be in violation
Why?
of our, not only our.
No, I mean,
Oh, no, we're gonna let them in.
Homeowners were notified.
Yeah, no, they'll be able to get in, they just can't get
They
in
have to get in
through the
on.
resident side. They'll
They have to
in
get in through the guard.
That's exactly what they're telling us, and that's exactly why our attorney sent them a letter, is.
No, we're going to let them in.
They just
No,
have
I
to
didn't
wait
say
on the
that.
visitor.
We know that. Anybody can come in on the visitor side. The idea is to have free access, that homeowners have free access into the community on either side. What they want to do is just give their homeowners the stickers, and all of our homeowners that want to come in on 87th Avenue have to come in through the visitor side, which means there's going to be a line,
Oh, we have a sticker too. I didn't take my sticker off.
But that's what we're trying to say. The stickers aren't going to work after a certain time.
It will on their side.
No, if they stop it,
No,
if they
they
stop
want to
letting
stop
in...
it too. We want to, look, here's my whole thing, is I don't want to stop anything right now until we can solve this.
Exactly.
If we stop it right now, we have nothing solved with it.
No, that's not gonna work.
We have to work.
I'm believing, if anybody has a better solution to it, come up. My solution is however possible, we need to notify them that we are making our decals available to the West at whatever price we come up with selling them for. We sell them for
The same as
$10.
ours.
We could sell it for $10 to them also. And we're making our decals available to them because at a certain date, we're going to close the
Access
the-
Richard, I
Residents.
understand what you're saying, but if they're not gonna cooperate and have the same system, they're not have, if they still have stickers, our stickers still work over there. So they're just not able to go.
If they stop letting in our homeowners
Yes, then we-
without our stickers, let's say you go in through there with an MP sticker, and they say, no, you can't go in through there.
There's lots of
Then
those.
you could go through
homeowners
there,
on that side with
but-
an MP sticker only. They don't have
You-
Marlboro West.
You could go through there. Legally, they have to let you in.
Right.
But they'll make you go in through the left side, which is against our contract.
This is what I was going to say. If we put them on notice, whether they buy our decals or not, that we're offering our decals, we're in compliance with our agreement. We've notified, and then they can come and buy them if they want. If they don't want to buy them, they don't have to. It should be something, if they would cooperate with us, where we could just give however many we need, 500, 600, to their
I was gonna ask you, how
management, to
many-
their management.